What's up, goodies? Welcome back to your girl channel and to my kitchen how to cook. And today, guess what? Your girl is cooking up a star. I'm about to cook up my Thanksgiving dinner, my Christmas dinner, my New Year's dinner. In my kitchen fast, easy and simple. So you know, so everything always fast, easy and simple.
Want to be independent, yet she can't read and write a sentence.
So anyway, before we get started, time is exactly 7:43, right? So it's 7:43 now. My husband is in the garage. My kitchen is right next door to my garage. He has music over there, so I hope I'm gonna get no copyright strike. Hopefully. But I gotta try to do this thing now. If the music turn up too loud, I've got some voice, so I hope I can do the thing. All mellow, right? Mellow. But make we talk about the things then. So right over here, so our season what we're gonna use, right? So we have some all-purpose seasoning, so we're gonna add some lemon pepper to some of the meat, the combo season, of course. It's some curry paste. We'll probably draw for the curry powder too. And then of course we have the turkey. So we have a turkey on deck, paprika, some more all-purpose seasoning. So I don't know which, maybe I don't know, I'm gonna switch it up because I don't want everything to taste the same. And then we have some pork seasoning because we are doing pot roast pork and oven baked. Then we have garlic powder. We have some rub right as well, some jerk rub. Of course, we can use our browning and some allspice, right? That's all. Chicken seasoning. And this, we don't need this, allspice, we'll put that back. And this is some jerk seasoning. Of course, you can make your jerk seasoning from scratch. I'm going to list down below, you will find recipe of making your own jerk seasoning. Alright, but we're going to use this. I'm going to turn it up with the two of them. So I'm going to use the powder jerk. I'm going to use the traditional jerk. And I only like mild because I'm afraid of pepper. We also going to use some onion powder right here, so you definitely need some sugar. So one for the turkey and one for the ham. And some cloves, that's all. You can use powdered cloves. I use this for the turkey. Black pepper and salt, of course. And of course, the home girl no cook without the apple cider vinegar right here. So I'm going to use up some oil to moisten up the jerk. Garlic, fresh garlic, and some ginger powder right here. So I'm going to use that. You can use fresh ginger. Now, also here is some green seasoning, and I just made this green season paste, right? The only thing extra, but did do this recipe before. I had two different kind of oils to this particular green season recipe, and a lot of garlic is in here. So yeah, I'm gonna list that also down below to show you how to make your own green season, but we're gonna use up all of that for all of the meat. Now over here, so now this feastess, we're gonna do some, I think I'm gonna do some barbecue with this one, and we're gonna do some jerk because me a Jamaican, I have to have jerk chicken, right? And then, and of course we're not make a whole lot because you know the holiday we toned down on family size, so I'm only doing 4 cuts of each. Then over here is my pork, and we're gonna pot roast that pork. And we have some goat meat over here, and I'm going to do brown stew. But definitely I'm making a see how I do this because I don't think I have a brown stew goat meat recipe, and it was requested, so I am going to bring that. And then this one right here, this is chicken chopped, so we're going to do this curry, and this one here we're going to do this brown stew. And then over here is the ham, and I have ham recipe, you know, we really do. I have ham. So, and I don't know if I can put this on camera, but just as well. So, the ham has already been washed nice and clean with salt, lemon juice, and vinegar. Make it soak for about a good hour and a half. It's been soaking, so the meat looks pretty yumptious. And this is a cooked ham, alright? Cooked ham, but we're going to make it taste nice and juicy. Now, over here is my good old turkey. And I know a lot of people that soak them turkey for about 10 weeks before. I don't do that. My turkey, I do have a turkey recipe But yeah, I'm gonna season it up, and when we're done with it, it's gonna taste just as good. Not going to be seasoned for days ahead. No, not a time for that. But it's going to be good when I'm done. So we're going to get that turkey going. We're going to soak it though, because right now the time right here, see, it's 7:48 p.m. at night. Right? Let me show you. It's at night. Night, right? To see a girl reflection. So at night. So we're gonna season this. I'm gonna make it sit and marinate till in the morning. So I'm going to start cooking this turkey, let's say about 7 in the morning. So it's going to be soaking for about 12 hours. That's pretty good. That's all I need. I need 24 hours. Probably I'll get less times marinating. We'll see. But that is going to be my feast. We're going to, of course, go to rice and peas and some other things to go along with the meal. But yeah, let's get seasoning. Okay, goodies, let's do this voiceover because hubby is playing music in the background and I don't want to have any copyright strike. So let's do this. Now, to all the meat, I added some lemon pepper seasoning. It's going to give it a nice lemony taste. Now, I have some rub here. I'm just going to go ahead and put that on the barbecue chicken and put some also on the pork, right? Now, I'm going to go in and add my onion powder on every single meat that I'm cooking. And right here I'm doing the jerk and the barbecue, the pork, the brown goat meat. We're going to brown stew and curry and brown stew chicken. So I'm going and add onion and garlic powder to it as well. Okay, now to that I'm going to go in and add some chicken seasoning. For sure, because this is how I cook. Whenever I'm cooking in bulks, I set everything up and it makes the process go by so fast. Now I'm going to add some pimento seeds, allspice, right? Just go ahead and add it to every single one of these meat here. Alright, after I go ahead and add my pimento seeds, I go in and add my combo seasoning. I love combo seasoning, but if you don't have that, of course you could go ahead and use complete seasoning or all-purpose seasoning or any other seasoning that you like. Now, we're definitely going to top it up with some paprika for sure. And we're not going to put that on the curry. We're going to skip the curry. Now, I am cooking pork, so I have some pork seasoning here. And I'm just going to go ahead and add that to the pork. Now, this is my all-purpose seasoning of choice. This is the Ocherius brand. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that to all of the meat. Now I'm going to go in and add my black pepper on every one of them. Black pepper for sure. Right there, black pepper. Alright, and then salt to top it off to give it flavor, just a little bit. I didn't use a lot of salt to it, as you can see here. Of course, I never cook without vinegar ever, so I'm going to add apple cider vinegar to every single meat and poultry that I'm cooking here. Now I'm going to go in and add some oil to the jerk. Alright, and to the pork to kick it up a notch. Now I'm going in with my ginger powder, and of course you could use fresh ginger for the recipe, and I'm going to add that ginger powder on every single meat I'm cooking here. Now after that, I'm going in with my fresh garlic, and just go ahead and add it on everything. I'm using my jerk season here, and of course, like I said before, you could make your jerk seasoning from scratch. I'm going to top it off with some dried jerk powder as well, and I'm going to go in and do my green seasoning. I'm going to list that green seasoning just to show you how to do it, but this one was a little bit different. I had it 2 different kinds of oil to it. But yeah, I'm gonna add it down below the recipe for that. Alright, now moving right along, we're going to use our curry paste. I'm only doing curry chicken here, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my curry paste. And if you don't have curry paste, curry powder or turmeric will work. I'm going to go in with my browning, and I'm using the Ocherios brand. I did add a little bit of the browning to the jerk, sorry, not to the jerk, but I added to the jerk, of course, but I did add some to the barbecue chicken just to give it extra added color, right? And you want to make sure that you don't overdo too much of the browning. You don't want the meat to be black, so just go ahead and just add a little at a time, and then you choose your color. Some people like it really dark, some people like it not so dark, so that's gonna be your choice of color. All right, but make sure to season it up really good and give it a nice little flavor for sure. I'm definitely gonna let this sit and marinate for at least probably like maybe about 1-2 hours or so, and it should be good. Alright, so moving right along, all I am doing here is go ahead and rub in the seasoning into the goat meat, and then I added the browning to it to adjust my color. That way I have the perfect color that I choose. Then I went in and I seasoned the brown stew chicken, rub it in, and then add the browning in just to get the color that I desire, because I don't want to spoil up this thing, right? You don't want to spoil it, so do it this way. Okay, that looks good. Then I go in and I season the curry chicken, and I am using the paste here. That looks really good, really good. Alright, now all I'm doing here is seasoning my pork. Alright, we want to rub that seasoning really well on both sides, on all 4 sides actually, and we're going to let this sit and marinate overnight or 6 hours, but not less than that. You want that meat to be flavorful. Alright, now my veggies are all prepped. I have onions and tomatoes and thyme, scallion, bell pepper, and I'm using 3 Scotch bonnet pepper here. But guess what? Me not pop it because I don't like spicy, but the people who are going to be eating, yeah, like spice, so we're going to put those in there. I have my brown stew chicken and my other things over there. We're going to go ahead and throw in those veggies on there. And yeah, we're going to just rub them all in. And like I said, I did start cooking from like 7 something, so I'm just going to let it go ahead and marinate. Everything just going to marinate overnight, and we're just going to start cooking tomorrow. But yes, that is coming along oh so good. Now go to make sure to subscribe to the channel and don't just watch me cook this feast. Make sure you subscribe and share the love with all your friends and family, and bring them come and send them come, because there's always something good cooking up over here, and they're always fast, easy, and simple. Alright, so now all I'm doing here is just rubbing my seasonings together along with the vegetables right here, and just let them sit and chill out overnight. Now, goodie, another reminder, if you're not subscribed to my second channel, Life is Juliana, please go ahead and subscribe to that channel. The link for that channel will be listed down below. Alright, now everything is all seasoned and all prepped and ready to be chilled. Alright, ready to be chilled. Now, Moving right along, in a pot, I added some oil. Then I added 1 stick of unsalted butter, about a tablespoon of garlic, and mixed it in well, because we are going to be cooking our stuffing for our turkey, right? Because remember, we're going to season up the turkey properly. Now all I did here was go in and add some chopped celery and added some vegetable seasonings to it. If you don't have that, just use some all-purpose seasoning. That will work just fine. Then I added some black pepper to it and a pinch of salt. Not too much, just a pinch. And just let that cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. That's all it takes. Now, after that 3 to 4 minutes, you're going to go in and use your favorite stuffing, right? Your favorite breadcrumbs, if that makes any sense. So I use that one because that's all I had at hand. I probably used about a cup to it, and that was pretty much good. Now, the turkey that I'm cooking is not an extremely big turkey, but if you're cooking a very large turkey, you might need more than a cup. Now we're going to make the seasoning for the turkey. Alright, I added some all-purpose seasoning. Then I'm going to go in with my turkey season. I only use this season for Thanksgiving time. Added that to it, and I'm had about 6 cloves to it. You could use powdered one. Then I added some paprika, pinch of salt, again not too much, garlic powder, onion powder, and then I added my combo seasoning. That is optional. You could just use whatever you want to use, all-purpose seasoning, anything you want, right? You can use that, but I'm going to use my combo seasoning here. Then I went in with some lemon pepper seasoning. Lemon pepper seasoning tastes good on everything. Went in with some oil because it's going to combine everything, and a pinch of black pepper, of course, honey, apple cider vinegar, some fresh garlic, and I am going to add the sugar here, about 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, and I'm using my orange marmalade here. If you don't have that, just get 1 orange and 1 lemon. Combine the two and there you have it. That's all it takes in a bottle, right? You could make it from scratch. I'm just going to go ahead and add about 1/4 cup to it and give it a nice little spin. That's how simple it is. I'm switching everything up in my kitchen. Everything that's I will switch up. Now I did go back and add some more of that paprika to it though, just to make sure that it had a nice little color. You want to make sure you be generous with the paprika. Be generous with the paprika. Now, for your turkey, get a sharp knife and just plug holes into the meat. This process is going to allow that marinade to soak into your turkey breast, because if you notice, sometimes you go to eat turkey, it's like the breast is so dry, you don't want to do that. So you want to just lift away the skin from the breast, just to make sure that you just didn't punch holes, but you want to make sure that the juices go into the meat for sure, 100%. So separate the skin from the meat itself, and then starting to massage the meat. Make sure you lift up that skin and just get it down there and just rub it all over your turkey, alright? You're going to have the best tasting turkey ever if you do this. There's no need to let that turkey sit for 2 days in any brine or anything. If you do this step, you're going to have flawless tasting turkey in your kitchen every time, straight. Okay, that looks so good, and that marinade smells amazing, y'all. It smells so good. Alright, now you're going to go in and stuff the turkey with that stuffing that you just made. Now you could also chop onions and add to it, or bell pepper, anything that you like, but trust me, this worked perfectly for me. Fast, easy and simple. Just go ahead and just stuff it all up in that turkey and you are good to go. You're just going to go ahead and just sit it aside, cover it up nice, put it in your refrigerator and let it sit for at least 12 hours. Look at that. You see how the season stuck up on it? That's how you want it to be. Alright, so let's go ahead and just sit it aside. Now moving right along, we're going to make another seasoning set for that ham. So we'll go ahead and add all that in, onion powder and all them other things. Let's go ahead and add it in. I'm using the combo seasoning as well, right? But you know it's always optional. I just love it. And I'm going to go in with the pork seasoning because we are cooking ham and ham is pork, right? Add some paprika to it. And then we add our all-purpose seasoning. Any one of your choice will do. And add some fresh garlic. And after I had garlic, I had about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and some more of that orange marmalade. And like I said, if you don't have that, just grab yourself a lemon and an orange and there you have it. Give it a nice little mix like I'm doing here. I did add some ginger powder to it though. It's going to kick it up a notch. Give it a nice little mix. Smells so good. Smells so good. And that's all it takes right there. We're going to do everything quick. Just go ahead and pour it out on the bottom portion of your ham. And good is the ham that I'm using here is cooked ham. So all we are doing, I'll give it extra flavor, right? Extra flavor. I cook ham so many different ways, but today it's going to be fast, easy, and simple. Now, all I did here was cut up an orange and just put it on top of the open section, just like that, and cover it tight with your plastic wrap and set it in your refrigerator overnight, just like you did your turkey. Alright, moving right along, we are going to cook our brown stew goat meat inside of the slow cooker. Now my slow cooker is on a high heat, right? And all I'm going to do here is add some broth. Now I'm using beef broth here, but of course if you don't have beef broth, you could use vegetable, you could use chicken. It doesn't matter, just as long as you don't throw water in there. Just give it flavor because you're cooking it in the slow cooker. And just go ahead and just cover it up and allow it to cook. Now moving right along again, in another pot I added some oil. And then all to that oil I added my curry chicken, add everything to it, and my fire here is on medium heat. It's a smoke up, but trust me, that pot is a disappointment. I bought that pot inside of Ross, paid $17.99 for it, but I am so disappointed with this pot. The pot is so thin. But anyway, I went ahead and added all of that to it. And yes, and what I wanted to tell you guys too, I might have seasoned the meat authentically, but I'm not going to be finished cooking the meat authentically, as you're going to see here. Now I did add some chicken stock to it, right? Now a lot of people might not add the chicken stock to it, but if you're cooking in bulk for a lot of people, you want to go ahead and add some chicken stock to your curry. If you don't want to do that, just add water upon it and call it a day. Cover it up, and now we're moving on to cooking our brown stew chicken. And again, this is not authentic. I do have a recipe that is also not authentic. It's called How Jamaican Restaurants Cook, or Caribbean Restaurants Cook Brown Stew Chicken in their restaurant kitchen, and it's done this way, fast, easy, and simple. Okay, so this is the way that is done when you are also cooking in bulk. And again, this is not, and I repeat, this is not authentic brown stew chicken. This is cook the food quick, gimme in your kitchen, fast, easy, and simple. All right, now our chicken is looking good. After about, I'll say about 15 minutes of cooking, I went ahead and added some potatoes and carrots to the curry and to the brown stew, because we want to not just thicken it up, but we want to add a little bit of something to it, right? And that is totally optional. And remember, your fire is also still at a medium heat. You don't want it to cook too fast. You want it to simmer and cook up the potato and carrot that you added to it. Now, what I did though is add a little bit of ketchup to the chicken, and that is optional. But when you're cooking it this way and you add some ketchup to it, it's going to turn it up to another level. And you could also add tomato paste to it. Now, moving right along, we're going to start cooking our pork, right? Pot roast pork. In a pan, I added some oil just to make sure it doesn't stick. You could add butter too if you'd like. And my fire here is also at a medium high heat. Now I'll go ahead and add my meat to it, and I'm going to let it sear for about 5 minutes on each side. We're not looking for this meat to cook here. We're just looking for that nice dark brown color, pretty little grill color, right? So you just go ahead and just turn it on all 4 sides and give it a nice color. After you get the color that you desire, you go ahead and you put it into your baking container. I did go in and add my potatoes and carrot to it. And I did add the onions and bell pepper and all that other stuff to it. Now, I didn't waste that marinade sauce that the meat was marinated in, and I did add some broth to it. And like I said, here I'm using chicken broth or chicken stock, but you could use anything you like. Add a little bit of salt and pepper to it, and guess what? That's it. Put it in the oven and make it bake. Now, moving right along, our turkey is all set to go, y'all. All set to go. That thing is soaked to perfection. My perfection. Now, in a bake bag, pretty big size bake bag, and you could find this in Walmart, Kroger's, or any supermarket near in your area. You go ahead and you add the turkey. Put the turkey in to your bake bag. Don't waste your marinade because it's going to help you to moisten up that turkey, and you do have the oil in there, right? Tighten it really well, just like I'm doing here, because you don't want any air to come out. You want it to steam really good in that bag there. That is perfect. Now, in your baking tray, go ahead and add some water to it. And you want to make sure when you put your turkey in the oven, you're putting it into a preheated oven. This turkey took me about 2.5 hours to bake at 350 degrees total cooking time. Place it in the baking tray with your water, and just go ahead and put it in the oven. And just, you don't have to take it out or anything to check it. Just let it bake for at least 3.5 hours. Now, moving right along, we are going to cook our ham. Yes, it's time to cook that ham, honey. So now, after it was done marinating, I just went ahead and give it some slices. Now, I could have sliced it from overnight, but I didn't want to do it that way. I wanted to do it this way. Because remember, we are cooking ham that has already been cooked. We'll also give it flavor. So this is what I decided to do day number 2, or a couple hours later, right? Give it some slices, and then after I got done doing that, all I did here was get the remainder of the marinade and just pour it right over it, just like that. That was it. Now let it sit and chill out while I'm doing this. Now, in a pan, I added 1 stick of unsalted butter and 1 cup of brown sugar. Combined the 2, and I allowed it to melt, right? Now, to that, I added some cinnamon powder and a little bit of nutmeg, like a 1/2 teaspoon of that. Then I added some ginger powder, 1 teaspoon, and mix it all in. That was it. Nothing else. You don't want to let it bubble too long because you're going to let it burn. All you have to do is just pour it all over your ham, just like that. And you are going to bake this at 225 degrees, and it's going to take a total of 1.5 hour baking time. You're going to check it every 30 minutes until you're complete. Now, after you get that good glaze all over it, you go ahead and you cover it up. You're going to put it in the oven covered. Do not put it in there uncovered, all right? You want to get that good flavor all up in there. You're going to pop it in the oven at 325 for half an hour. Okay, so we're going to do that for half an hour. Now, after half an hour, you pull it out. That's what you're going to have. You want to get that glaze all over that ham. Make sure you don't miss any spots, because that glaze is really important. You're going to put it back in the oven for another half an hour. When you pull it back out, this is what you will have. So now we've been cooking it for 1 hour, right? So it only needs another half an hour. You're going to go back and you're going to get that good glaze again and just get it all over your ham. Put it back in the oven, but this time you're going to put it back in the oven uncovered. Uncovered, still at 325 degrees. Another half an hour and you're going to be good to go. It does take an hour and a half to cook because we are making we're making cooked ham here. All right, and that is looking oh so good. Oh so good. Look at that. So that is 1 hour of cooking time. Now after you are all set and all done, that is what you'll have. You're good to go. Now our pot roast pork, honey, is done. But done with as like I say, you have another 15% of cooking time left. So here's what you're gonna do. That juice right there is not the right consistency for your meat. All right, you want to have a smothered look. So what you're gonna do is get a pan and you're gonna pour out those good juices in a pan, just like I am doing here. You want to make sure that you do that because you don't want to have soupy pot roast. So you go ahead and you pour it out just like so. Set the meat aside. It's going to look just like that. Beautiful color, beautiful, and smells amazing. Wonderful. Now you're going to go in and add your cornstarch, and I have about 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, and I think I added about 1/3 cup of water to it. Just enough water. Just add your water to it like so. Give it a nice mix. If you don't have cornstarch, use tapioca starch. If you don't have tapioca starch, use flour. But do not use self-rising flour for sure. Give it a good mix and pour it out into the boiling sauce. And it's going to thicken up really, really well. If it's not thick enough for you, or if it's too thick, adjust it to your liking. Do not allow it to cook. We're not cooking anything. We're just thickening the sauce, okay? Now after it's thickened, you're just going to go ahead and pour it back out on your meat. You're going to put it back in the oven for another 15 minutes and you're all done here. Your potatoes should be nice and tender. Your carrots should be nice and tender. The meat should be already cooked because it does take about an hour and a half to cook. Depending on the size of your meat, maybe 2 hours, but that's all you need and you're good to go. Perfect. That looks so good. Oh my goodness, so good. All right, now moving right along again. In my slow cooker, my brown stew goat meat is all done. It's nice and tender, just the way I want it to be. Tender, and it smells off the chain. Now we're going to thicken up that gravy, right? So I added some more cornstarch with a little bit of water in a cup. You're going to mix it up, right? But before you add that thickening to the sauce, to the gravy, you want to go ahead and remove some of that oil first. You don't want to take all of it out because that oil does give your meat that extra added flavor for your rice, your white rice or your rice and peas. But you definitely want to go ahead and remove some of that oil, and then you add the cornstarch to it, and it's going to thicken up just like that, and you are done here. Everything is all done, and this did take me about 4 hours to cook. Moving right along, I decided to do some pineapple baked mac and cheese, and I do have this recipe up. Now this one is going to be fast, easy and simple. Now I added so I have 1 can of the pineapple to it, crushed pineapple, and then I added some mayo, lots of mayo. The more mayo the better. Then I added some sour cream to it as well, and I also added my cottage cheese. Fast, easy, and when I say fast, easy and simple, I mean fast, easy and simple. Okay, now to that I added some blue cheese, and lots of that too. We'll make this thing creamy and cheesy. Added some sharp cheddar to it as well. Okay, and then I added just a little bit of oil to kind of loosen it up a little bit. You could add melted butter if you'd like. And then all you have to do is combine everything together. That's it. You don't have to add anything else to it. I do have another recipe of pineapple baked mac and cheese. The process is a little bit longer, but this one is, when I say fast, easy, and simple, I mean fast, easy, and simple. Now in your baking container, you go ahead and add a small portion of it. Spread it out in your baking container. Then you add, I have some cheese chunks here. Then I added those to it, and then I went and added some of that cheddar cheese to it. And I'm using sharp cheddar cheese. Okay, cheesy, honey, cheesy. Then I went back in and had another portion to it and smoothed that out. And then I went back in, add some more of that cheese chunks to it, and added some more sharp cheddar cheese right there. You want to make sure you get all the layers cheesy, honey, cheesy. Then I added my last layer on top, smooth that out, and then added the remainder of my cheese on top. Okay? And the more cheese you put on top, the more that cheddar cheese you put on top, is the better it is going to be. The more cheesy it's going to be. Now, to this particular pineapple baked mac and cheese, I did go in and add some of that good bacon pieces to it. Oh my goodness. Now the one that I made before, I did not add any bacon bits to it, but my house love it when I do it this way, and I'm going to share it to you. This is what it looks like when you add the bacon bits to it. Pop it in your oven and let it bake for 45 minutes at 350 degrees. Now moving right along, I wanted to add another thing to my feast here. So I added some cooked pasta, and I added some of this good crab meat. This is imitation crab meat, but you can use the real deal crab meat to it. But we're gonna make this thing easy, fast, easy, and simple. So we're gonna do this right here. Now, all you have to do is basically the same thing you did before. Add some blue cheese to it, about a handful of that. Okay, and after you do that, you want to go in and add just the top bit. Well, maybe whatever you feel like adding. Just go ahead and add the sour cream to it. Okay, because you can never go wrong. You can never spoil the recipe if you add too much of these ingredients. So go ahead and add your cottage cheese to it. It's going to give it a nice little creamy flavor. and then you add your seasoning of choice. I'm using my Grace all-purpose seasoning here, and you can substitute that one up for whatever you like. Then I added some dried parsley to it, and you can definitely use fresh parsley for the recipe. Give it a good mix, just like that. Alright, now you want to also bake this at 350 degrees, and it only takes about 20 minutes to bake. That's it. And be sure to put it into your preheated oven only. But this thing is off the chain. Now, after I poured the mixture into my baking tray though, like so, I smoothed it out like so, and then I added some mozzarella cheese on top, and of course you can substitute that mozzarella cheese for whatever it is that you like. It's going to work just fine. You want that cheese to melt on there, right? That's what you're looking for here. I did though add some more of the dried parsley on top, just to give it a little bit of something color on the top. Pop it in my oven, honey. And that was how simple that thing was. Now my daughter requested that she wanted candied yam, so she wanted it with marshmallows. I did make it one before, so I didn't want to go through the process of doing everything from scratch, but basically that's what it looks like when you do your candied yam. I'm going to list that recipe down below so you can go ahead and check that out. I'll link for this one. I just added some marshmallow on the top of it after it was all cooked and done, and popped it in my oven for I'd say about 15 minutes uncovered, and just allowed the marshmallow to melt on top, and that pretty much summed that up. That was good. Now as far as my barbecue chicken go and my jerk chicken, I just added some barbecue sauce, and then I add just mellow it out. Just give it a nice little mellow flavor with the jack and the barbecue sauce. Yes, honey. And then added some more sauce to the jerk as well. And that was done. So the barbecue chicken was done, and the jerk chicken was done, and everything was all finished up right there. I didn't do a whole lot because we had a small group of people that come over, just kids and close family, and that was it. Now this is what your ham is going to look like again, goodie, when you are all done. After an hour and 30 minutes of cooking, you're going to make sure that you check it. Do not mess it up. Check it every 30 minutes for 1.5 hours, and that is how your ham should be. Pineapple baked mac and cheese is done. Her oven baked crab salad is also done. Everything is finished, and it is off the chain, looking good. I just love the way how that looks on top. It is perfect, y'all. Perfect. Look at that. Perfect. Also, our turkey is nicely done. That is also looking also good. This came out so nice and moist and juicy. That stuffing is filled with so much flavor. Oh my goodness, gorgeous. The thing is just so nice. I really enjoy baking my turkey in the bake bag. It does something tremendous to it. It comes out really moist that way. It really looks great. Our ham, look at the ham, is perfect. The smothered pot roast pork is all done. The brown stew chicken finished. I have some rice and peas over here, but I did not put that on camera because I have so much rice and peas recipe already. And our curry over there is on fleek. That's all done as well. We got some homemade turkey gravy going. I'm going to add some cornstarch to it and finish it up. But yeah, the thing looking good. I did decor out my turkey for the table, and the ham I did go in with some cheese and cherry. I didn't add anything else to it this year, but yeah, overall that thing is looking also good and also fancy, and nevertheless good to the bone. So okay y'all, cooking is a wrap, and the time now probably a little bit after 5. and I'm like super duper excited about that. Turn on the light. So that is it, y'all. So I've got my ham right here on deck. I didn't want to do the pineapple one this year for sure, so I just did the glazed one, which is just the butter, sugar, and little different spices. Cheese it up with some cherry, and then my turkey is on deck, honey. That looks so good. So good, all done up in the bake bag, and that's what it looks like. I did my tablescape yesterday, but you know, girl had to put her turkey and her stuff on. So that is it right there. That looks amazing, amazing, amazing. I love the way how this turkey came out, y'all. The turkey came out flawless. Look at that. And that ham, look there. Boy, that look good. So take you into the kitchen and show you what's on the menu. So let's start from down here. So we have plantains and candied yam here, barbecue chicken, jerk chicken, and then I did make some homemade gravy. And then we have, wait, the daughter there, daughter. So yeah, so we have steamed vegetables, pineapple baked mac and cheese, quick, fast, easy, and simple. And then the girl did that good crab meat salad, crab salad, baked in the oven. And then you have a rice and peas on deck. We have our brown stew chicken over here, and the curry chicken. And then we have our brown stew goat meat in the slow cooker. Sizzle and nizzle, that's going real good. And yes, say what's up to the vlog. That's daughter right there. Future in the middle as usual. And then over here we got our little treat going on. And cakes and pies and stuff and drink. And all the other good stuff. Yes. Yes. That looks good. So the first thing we gotta do is, of course, we're going to pray and all that stuff before we start to eat. But yeah, that looks amazing, y'all. Yes, honey. All that good stuff. Look at that bubbling. That good smothered pork all up in there. Real good. Yes, boo. I guess that's it. I think I might do separate videos. Come and do a whole lot of cooking. I might do some little small videos with all of this setting, but we'll see. We'll see, alright? But anyway, be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Small gatherings. Be safe. Yeah, COVID is out there. Be safe. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Share with friends and family. And I guess I will see you in my next video. Talk to you later. Bye.